Please don't forget subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified of new daily videos.
Sailing away from my mill says. 2 days ago, my mill, Sheila Karlsson, whom my son Kellen and I have been NC with for months, showed up at our home unannounced. She didn't come to apologize or try to genuinely reconnect. No, she came to threaten Hayden, my DH, with appealing to family elders and spreading rumors about me, keeping Kellen from his heritage. The entire maddening conversation with Hayden was, thankfully, recorded on our doorbell camera. For context, our son Kellen turned 1 this past summer. The last time we saw Sheila in person was at his birthday party, which we hosted. That event was the final straw. Hayden had 2 simple boundaries with her leading up to it. 1, respect our choices for Kellen's party and development, and 2, do not ignore me or try to cut me out of conversations about Kellen's upbringing. My family background is diverse, and while Hayden's family, the Karlssons, have a long-standing tradition of sailing, we wanted Kellen to explore all interests, not just be pigeonholed into one. Sheila is fluent in English, but she often acts like she can't understand me, especially when I talk about Kellen's non-sailing related activities. Prior to the birthday, Sheila had seen Kellen a few times, and each time she acted inappropriately. Hayden discussed this with her repeatedly. She'd constantly try to bypass me, either by only talking to Hayden and Kellen about sailing plans, ignoring me completely, or trying to separate me from Kellen behind my back. She said many hurtful and infuriating things like, I must have new mom brain, because I didn't appreciate her detailed plans for Kellen's sailing debut at just a few months old, and that Hayden should bring Kellen to her lake house so I can have a break from mothering. She wasn't going to come to our house anymore because I make her feel unwelcome, even though she deliberately ignored me when she did come over. She proclaimed she was the only grandmother who truly understood the Karlsson legacy. My own mother is passed, a fact she weaponizes, and we needed to prove how important that relationship was to us. She asked Hayden after Kellen was born if I was still fit to manage a household, given my unconventional interests. Cried to Hayden about how I was never going to share Kellen with her, and how she never got to teach him proper sailor knots or sing him old sea shanties to sleep. Told Hayden to let her know when I was out of the house so she could come over and instill some Karlsson values while Hayden worked. If I could visit my sister out of town, then Hayden should be able to bring Kellen to her lake house without me for intensive legacy training. Sent packages addressed to Kellen as Kellen Karlsson, heir to the fleet, completely omitting my last name, Shapiro. Our son has Hayden's last name, Karlsson, which seems to be a major trigger for her as she never wants to acknowledge my role or surname. Intercepted us when we were leaving for Kellen's doctor's appointment, saying Hayden had told her he wanted her to come over to show Kellen his first sailboat, which wasn't true. She was literally holding onto the car seat as Hayden walked to the car, convinced he would just hand Kellen over. Hayden was convinced she had a miniature sail and was going to try and christen Kellen into the family legacy right there. She's done similar things with other family events without consent. I transcribed the rest of the doorbell camera conversation. It's truly wild how everything she said to Hayden was meant to elicit negative emotion, guilt-trip him, and if not, she'd just change the subject. We've been NC long enough that Kellen is now a rambunctious toddler, and she still won't knock it off with her antics. Like, obviously, we are serious. We aren't taking her crap anymore, but she still acts confused, plays the victim, etc. It's the same conversation Hayden has had with her many times in the past. Sheila, hello. Hayden, Mom, what are you doing here? Sheila, did I wake you up? Can I come in? Hayden, no, what are you doing here? Sheila, I can't come in. Hayden, no. Sheila, why? Hayden, because Aria is in the middle of working and Kellen is napping. She's going to be very angry. Sheila, she's angry anyway. Hayden, it wasn't a good idea to come. Sheila, okay, but what were my options? How else was I going to reach you? Sheila, does Kellen understand the importance of family or just his toys? Hayden, he understands what we teach him. We can't do this for long. We're taking Kellen to the park as soon as he wakes. Sheila, he looks just like his mother, do you think? Such a shame he doesn't have the distinct Karlsson nose. Hayden, people often say he looks like me. Sheila, he has her eyes. How are you, son? Hayden, fine, I'm fine. Sheila, why don't you give me any updates? I'm his grandmother. Hayden, because every time we talk, it's the same conversation. It's not even like you recognize that there's a problem. It's not even. I've never felt that way acknowledged the problem and the impact it has on us. Sheila, but did you read my letter? Hayden, your email. Sheila, yes, doesn't that tell you everything? Hayden, no, because there's nothing concrete. Sheila, why can't we move on? Hayden, no, you say move on, but nothing has been resolved. Sheila, but I don't know what to do to resolve it. Hayden, everything I've told you. How many hours have we spent discussing your behavior? Sheila, yes, but you're the one bringing up the same conversation again. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Hayden, you think we're just angry, and then we'll get over it eventually. Sheila, why are you so resentful? Hayden, it's not resentment, it's not being angry. Sheila, but you weren't resentful like that before. Hayden, it has nothing to do with resentment. I'm telling you concrete things. Instead of you acknowledging that there's a problem. Sheila, but I recognize that there's a problem. That's why I am here. I know what. Hayden, you don't understand. That's exactly the kind of conversation we have every time. You spin things. But you need to understand the context when I tell you there's a problem. I know there's a problem, but you think the problem is just that we're angry. You don't recognize that the source is something that can easily be addressed. That you could just say, I apologize for trying to sign Kellen up for a sailing club behind Aria's back and for constantly undermining her role as his mother. Sheila, but what is that? Hayden, every time I talk to you about it, you say, oh, that was just my passion. It was years ago, Kellen was so little. You're deflecting. Sheila, listen, I don't know what to do. I don't know what I did that was so bad. What is it? Hayden, stop that. Don't turn it around like so bad. I said something specific. I'm addressing a specific issue. Sheila, what specific issue? I only wanted to share my love for sailing. Hayden, you told me you wanted to do right by us, but you are always spinning conversations. You're playing the victim as far as I'm concerned. Oh, it's my fault. It's always my fault. That doesn't help address the problem. That hides the problem. Sheila, but what's the problem? You think me wanting to share our family heritage is a problem. Hayden, there are moments of judgment that are inappropriate. There are comments about Aria's parenting choices that are inappropriate. Again, even that, saying you don't know what the issues are. You're bringing it up again. Sheila, I can't see my grandson, the heir to the Karlsson legacy. Hayden, no, I told you not to do this exactly, not to come over unannounced. Sheila, what other options do I have? You're leaving me no choice. Hayden, I'll tell you. That's pretty much the worst thing you can do. Threatening to inform the family elders and undermine us. That's a new low. Sheila, the worst? It's not a threat. I just want you to realize the importance of family and what I'm entitled to ensure it. That if I wanted to, I could. I won't do it. But what happened to us? Hayden, you wanted us to come every weekend for sailing lessons. When Aria came, you hardly spoke to her. She felt like you ignored her. You belittled her efforts to plan Kellen's birthday. Sheila, I don't always understand what she says about. You know, her interests. And I just wanted Kellen to have a proper Karlsson birthday, not all those trendy things. Hayden, okay, but little by little, it damaged the relationship. When she had something planned, it was never enough. Why doesn't she bring Kellen to the lake house for a proper lesson? Well, because she pays for his music classes, because she's invested in his development beyond sailing. She has plans with her friends. The expectation was always for her to cancel. Sheila, I apologize if I insisted. Hayden, not if. Sheila, I apologize for insisting that you come. I thought you would enjoy our time. I regret insisting. Hayden, that's the difficult part. It's not about insisting. It's not about wanting us to come. Sheila, it's about not respecting your excuses. I apologize for that too. I don't know what to say. Hayden, just saying it is a start. But do you understand why? Sheila, I understand, but it's in the past and I can't fix it. Hayden, yes, you can. Sheila, I can't go back and do things differently. There are people, okay? There are people who have abusive parents. I've never been a... Let me finish. I've never been, I think, an abusive mother or mother-in-law, and you treat me like I've been a terrible mother. Hayden, I'm not treating you badly. Every time do I swear at you? Do I yell at you? Sheila, no, you ignore me. That's worse. I'd rather you yelled at me and we emptied the pool once and for all so we could settle this. Hayden, I tried. How many times did I try over the past 2 years? How many emails? How many back and forths? How many hours of phone conversations did we have? Sheila, you don't answer me. Hayden, there's nothing more I have to say. I have nothing to add to what I said. At some point, either it clicks or it doesn't, and I am going to keep wasting my time. Sheila, but why are you stuck in the past? Hayden, because it's not resolved. Because the past predicts the future. Because what's going to happen next time? Sheila, how come some people have terrible parents and still treat their mothers well? Their mothers did nothing to make up for the crap they put them through. They're able to get over it. You have no concept of forgiveness. You just make me hold a grudge. Can't I see Kellen? Hayden, no, take what I said. Really think about it. Why is it? Even little things, like when we were buying our house. We had never even talked to you about having kids. And you say, oh, I won't be able to help you with the sailing lessons if you move 15 minutes further away than our old home. Sheila, but it's true. I'm not getting any younger. Hayden, okay, but why? You don't need to say that. Sheila, I regret it, but for me, it was obvious. I was so close to your sister's kids and their sailing. I helped her with all of them. I would have liked that. I wanted to be able to do the same thing with you, but I knew that when you moved to the house, I wouldn't be able to do it. Not because I wanted to hurt you by saying that, but in my head I thought, I won't be able to help them. And I felt bad that I couldn't help you. I'm sorry, but I can't help you. Hayden, but you don't need to feel bad. We don't need any help with that. Things are going very well. Sheila, listen, I know what it's like with a baby. I've had Bobbies. It's difficult. It's especially difficult to raise a true Karlsson without the proper guidance. Hayden, I like it. I have fun with Kellen. Like I said, when Aria wakes up, we go to the park. And then Kellen has his music class. We have a great routine. We have a great life. We can't complain. Sheila, but I'm happy for you that everything is going well. That's great. I'm thankful. You may not believe it, but I think I'm thankful. For your life, call it what you want. For you, for the family, for the man you've become. Hayden, really, for me, the conversations we've had since Kellen's birthday, it's not going to get any better. Sheila, it's been months now. Can't we think about other things? Hayden, stop saying that. Sheila, but that's how I feel. Hayden, that's not how we feel. Sheila, what do you want to hear? 5 years, 10 years? Hayden, it's not a question of time. That's it. Really, it could have been settled the following week after the party. It could have been resolved then. But instead of just saying, yes, okay, I understand. It wasn't right. I understand. Sheila, it wasn't right. I shouldn't have. I should have just enjoyed the moment without worrying about silly things like your choice of cake. I regret it. But how many times do I have to say it? Hayden, you never said that exactly. Thank you. There are specific things in a situation like this that need to be acknowledged. Sheila, but I realized I was wrong that day, when you pulled me aside. Hayden, yeah, but what did you say last time? I should have cried in front of everyone. When I wanted to say something, I should have said it louder so everyone could hear me defending Kellen's legacy. Sheila, yes, I should have cried in front of everyone. Hayden, no, crying wasn't even appropriate in that context. Sheila, but I was upset. You were having a bouncy castle at Kellen's first birthday party, not even a simple christening into the family's sailing legacy. Hayden, but because you were making up stories and getting into your head because Aria was just holding her son while he opened presents. That's just what it is. Sheila, and I regretted it when I made comments about Aria's choice of party theme. I didn't know her choices were final. I should have just said, "Hey, beautiful party, Aria, choose whatever you want." And without any comments about. I realize I should have done that, but it's done. Hayden, yes, I know it's done, but at least acknowledge it, because even for me, the trust is broken there. Sheila, how can you not trust me? Honestly, how can you not trust me? Hayden, because I do not trust that if Aria had a conversation with you without me, it would be okay. Sheila, I would listen to her. I want to listen to her. I want to hear her. I want to listen to what she has to say to me and be able to apologize every time she expresses something. If she says to me, when you made comments about her father's lack of sailing experience, I know I shouldn't have done that. Yes, I do that all the time. I have a big mouth. I do that all the time. Hayden, yes, I know. Sheila, but so you understand that sometimes I don't have a filter. I just speak from the heart about Kellen's future. Hayden, yes, I know, but because anything unique to isolation wouldn't be a problem. There's a pattern, though. Sheila, yes, okay, but there is a pattern. I can't become something I'm not. Just accept me for who I am. A doting grandmother wanting to ensure Kellen knows who he is. Hayden, that's not what I'm asking you. Sheila, but I admit it. The comments about Aria's father's hobbies were completely out of line, totally inappropriate. I should never have said anything like that. The comments about Kellen's party theme, I should never have said anything like that. I should have just respected her choice and said it was a beautiful party. Hayden, okay, look, I'm going to stop there. Again, I don't think it was a good idea to come in person unannounced like this. Sheila, but at least send me some photos of the children. What does Kellen look like? I haven't even seen him. You sent photos to your sister, but not to me. Well, you see, now I've said something I shouldn't have said. You share with my daughter, but not your own mother. Hayden, you're right. Thanks for acknowledging that, because that bothered me too, because what I talked to my sister about is… Sheila, it's none of my business. You're right. You're absolutely right. I shouldn't have said that. Sheila, I'd like to hear what Aria has to say. Hayden, no, because like I said, even for me, it's going to be a disaster. Sheila, and knowing that you're depriving me of my grandson and that it hurts me not to see him, doesn't that bother you? Doesn't Kellen deserve to know his true family legacy? Hayden, absolutely not. Sheila, no, but does it bother you? Does it affect you at all? Hayden, I'd like Kellen to get to know you. He's really cool. He has such a wonderful personality, I want to share it with her as much as possible. Sheila, I'm here, for Kellen's sake. Hayden, the problem is, there are things that need to be acknowledged and corrected before we get to that point. Sheila, do you ever stop thinking about me? Do you ever stop saying, oh, I wish my mother could see this? I'm here. I wish I could talk about something else with my mother. I wish I could share this with my mother. All I want is to share Kellen's legacy. Hayden, okay, but it's not. You don't understand. And right now, for the past 2 months, I haven't felt like having another long conversation like the ones we had been having. I don't have the time for that. I don't have the energy for that. So it wasn't just out of spite that we told you not to see Kellen. It's like I've already told you enough times. Sheila, but I feel like I've said that 100,000 times. Hayden, well, I told you no, so you can accept that you don't understand. Sheila, I didn't make it clear enough. Hayden, not exactly. Not just clearly, but there was nothing concrete in your apologies or actions. Sheila, I loved our family gatherings. I loved them, especially the ones by the lake. Hayden, yes, I understand. Sheila, if Aria felt like I was ignoring her, it's not because I was ignoring her. I didn't know how to talk to her. I don't know how to connect with her. You know, sometimes people just don't have that shared connection, especially when one is so focused on other things. Do you understand that? Hayden, yes. Hayden, when I asked you to respect our parenting, it was never. Sheila, but I do make an effort to respect you. I do. I just want Kellen to be a true Karlsson. Hayden, so when you come here, the first thing you do is talk to me and Kellen about sailing regattas, completely ignoring Aria. Sheila, I would be inclined to speak about Kellen's future. It's spontaneous, as they say, my unfiltered way of speaking about what's truly important. Hayden, yes, I understand, but if it happened in the context of you saying something to me about a regatta, I'd say, wait, and you could say, oh, excuse me, it's just a habit. Yes, because I feel bad for having said it. That's fair enough. I wouldn't have said anything, I might even have appreciated it. But every time you came over to see Kellen when he was first born, you would only talk about sailing. Only speak to me and Kellen. You would ignore Aria. She is not included in the conversations at all. When we spoke on the phone in January, I told you this was an issue, and you said that you were only going to teach Kellen about the family legacy because that's the kind of relationship you want to have with them. Sheila, no, it's because I knew spontaneously there were things I was going to say to you about Kellen's future without thinking. I'm just passionate. Hayden, yes. Well, that's undermining what you were asked. Sheila, but you're attributing intentions to me that I didn't have. You think I meant to hurt Aria. I just want Kellen to be strong. Hayden, it's still undermining. Sheila, yes, but you're attributing intentions to me that I didn't have. You know that, right? You recognize that too. That you're attributing intentions to me that I didn't have. You were wrong to think that. Sheila, anyway, I would have liked to see Kellen in person. I can't right now. Hayden, no. Sheila, anyway, excuse my lack of filter. I would have liked to see Kellen, to just give him a hug. Hayden, okay, Will, to be continued. Then she left, and we haven't heard from her since. Also, to add, she sent Hayden a card for Kellen's first year of life, which was all about his destiny as a sailor, and included a miniature silver anchor necklace, engraved with Karlsson Air. She's so committed to disrespecting our boundaries, it all just feels so stupid to me. She keeps self-sabotaging herself and digging a deeper and deeper hole, and we are not getting her out of this mess for her because she'll just repeat the same behavior. Any advice? Reddit. The community offered support. Readers strongly advised Aria and Hayden to maintain their strict no-contact boundary with Sheila, emphasizing that Sheila's behavior shows no genuine remorse or willingness to change. Many suggested documenting all interactions, especially any new threats, and prioritizing their nuclear family's peace and Kellen's well-being over attempting to appease Sheila's manipulative demands. Continuing therapy for Hayden to process his mother's emotional manipulation was also a common recommendation. User Boundaries Are Bliss said, "Oh my goodness, Aria, I felt my blood pressure rising just reading this. Your Mill is a textbook manipulator and victim player. Hayden handled that conversation like a rock star, but honestly, you guys are doing exactly the right thing with NC. Her apologies are always conditional and vague. Do not fall for the family elders nonsense. It's just another way to try and control you. Keep that doorbell footage. You are amazing parents, and Kellen is lucky to have you protecting him from this toxicity." User Toxic Family Survivor said, This sounds so much like my own mother, who pulled the "you're depriving my grandchild of my side of the family" card. It's never about the child, it's about control and their ego. The way she weaponizes your late mother is truly disgusting. Stay strong with the NC. It hurts, but it's the only way to protect your mental health and Kellen's childhood from her drama. She can't become something she's not, exactly what Hayden said. And what she is a boundary stomper. User Just Trying to Help said, "It sounds like Sheila just really loves Kellen and wants to share something important to her with him. Maybe her methods are a bit forceful, but isn't it possible she just misses her grandson deeply and feels like she's losing him? Perhaps a supervised, neutral meeting to discuss her feelings might help her feel heard, even if you don't agree with her actions."
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like it. And please do subscribe to support the channel.